a translation is not the meaning of a word in another language. I can find many words in Japanese, but there's a translation, and there are many situations where that translation is not going to do. You have to expand your idea of what that word means, because it's used totally differently than the way we would use the same translated word in English. So I know that translations are limiting. Translations make you think too much. It's far better to hear the word and see what's going on enough times so that you understand it. It's better that you understand the word than to know the translation of it. When you learn the words naturally through the situation you see, then the words are really part of what you understand rather than the traditional way of translation. And when you've seen it and heard it enough times, you get used to it. The words become natural for you. So I prefer to feel comfortable with the words, feel comfortable with the language, to have enough experience with it. For me, I'm not comfortable using something that doesn't feel natural. And it takes a lot of exposure to the language to get the intonation, pronunciation correct, so that when you say it, you're going to sound natural. If you learn the way everybody does but through studying, it's like the first time maybe you heard the word. It's the first time I've heard a word, and then I'm going to use it, and then it's not going to come out, and it doesn't feel natural because that coming out doesn't even sound natural. I don't even know what I'm saying, really. I'm thinking about the translation that somebody just taught me and trying to use this new word, which doesn't come out of my mouth naturally. And that, for me, that's very uncomfortable. Other people, I guess other people don't care, but that's why I prefer to learn naturally. I want to be able to use, I want to be able to understand, I want to feel comfortable with the language. I don't want to feel any pressure. I don't want to be thinking. I don't want to be trying to remember a word. I just want to relax. And when I'm relaxed, I understand much better. The principle of learning naturally is based on the fact that we can all learn our first language naturally. Not studying, not making word lists, but we learn it naturally. Some people attribute that to learning like a child does. However, I did not say that I'm learning like a child, or that I'm trying to be a child. I think being a child has nothing to do with it. But it's just the fact that as children we do learn the language very naturally, and that nature is input. We have family and friends that we hear, that we observe, we watch them, we listen to them. What they say rings in our head. When we are kids, we don't try to remember how to say that. I mean, we can't even remember when we're 2 or 3 or 4. I can't remember back before maybe 5 years old. You know, I can't remember how I was thinking or how I felt. If the ALG world, the ALG method that was created by Dr. Brown didn't exist, then all we would have is theory that you can learn a language naturally. But that program has been in existence for over 20 years. So they see what people do. What are these people doing in our class? Oh, those guys are talking all the time. They see the results. So we don't really need to debate the theory when we have the evidence. Now, of course, there's a difference between the TV method and ALG World. ALG World is in the classroom with instructors. The TV method is just watching a lot of TV, like soap operas, watching drama series. In the ALG World, after level, 6 or something, 5, 6, 4, whatever, the students can start speaking. The students are supposed to naturally start speaking after they understand about 60% of what's going on, or 60% of the language, I don't know which. When they have a certain amount of understanding, then speech will emerge naturally. In the TV method, we have nobody to talk to, so we'll just continue till we feel like we understand 60%, and then maybe try to find somebody to talk to for a little bit. But we don't want to overdo it. We just want to speak when we can speak naturally, not trying to remember some new word that we just heard.